Hi.
Goodness gracious, we have him. Hello. Hi.
Hi, Rishabh. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. Good, good, good. Nice to see you, and so nice to see so many people joining us on this live. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, they're here exactly for two people. They're for two people. One is me. The second
Okay.
is me. Uh,
Wonderful. Of course, Rishabh.
no. But let me formally introduce you at the beginning of the show. Okay, so we have with us somebody who is really charismatic. He's very dynamic.
And we have
And
sleepy eyes right now because I just finished a nap.
I
Yes.
I know you barely sleep, and I know that your work hours are 21 hours working days. So I know this,
Thank
but
you.
honestly, it is a pleasure and a privilege to be welcoming one of the youngest parliamentarians in the country and the youngest parliamentarian from the Bharatiya Janata Party. He only got a ticket because I denied it. But but it is a pleasure and a privilege to be welcoming you to Kuch To Karuna on I Am Unofficial Tejasvi. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Rishabh, and likewise, I'm so happy to be a part of this show with you. Since the time I met you last in Bengaluru, I have been keenly following the work that you and your team have been doing. I'm so happy, man, that India has such vibrant, dynamic, talented young people. The country's future is in safe hands. More power to you and your team.
Thank you so much. I wish I could believe you, yeah. But you don't follow me on Instagram, nor do you follow Ayman. So how do you know what's happening?
I follow you on Twitter. I follow news and
No, I just
increasingly live.
so we rarely have politicians where we have comments saying he is so hot. I saw one person responding saying he's so good looking, and then below that it was he's so hot. Now, tell me, are you an eligible? Let me start with this very important question. Before we get on to the serious subjects, let me ask you the very important burning question.
Okay.
Is Tejasvi Surya the most eligible politician bachelor that we have in the country? Or is he already taken?
I mean, well, I don't know what qualifies to be eligible, but for sure I'm single. For sure I'm not seeing anyone right now, and but I have been taken for always for the service of Bharat Mata, if I can put.
And very well integrated, yeah, very well integrated. I sometimes feel that despite being the same age, you are far advanced both in knowledge and also how you conduct yourself. So there's so much to learn because you somehow subtly integrate everything with everything, which is which is
Politicians are old school politicians were known to divide. New school politicians of New India are known for integration and bringing together things. So I would take that as a compliment, Rishabh. Thank you.
No, it is a compliment, and I'm so glad because new age
Yeah, thank
politicians
you.
such as yourself are uniting people together. And let me
Thank you,
take
thank
the
you,
first
Rishabh.
question. Today, the Prime Minister
Yeah.
had this meeting, and it's about coronavirus. This entire show is about coronavirus. Ironically, it's called Kuch To Corona. But the Prime Minister spoke to the Chief Ministers, and we are all anticipating a lockdown in the country till the 30th of April. Your thoughts?
See, these are difficult times and desperate times call for desperate measures, and the Prime Minister and the Council of Chief Ministers today have had detailed deliberations on how the lockdown can be lifted, if the lockdown must be lifted, and what must be the staggered and calibrated manner in which the lockdown has to be lifted in the country. So the very objective of enforcing the lockdown is twofold. One, containing the scale of the infection from spreading in a rapid manner in the community. Two, buying time for the public health system to equip itself with the adequate ammunitions and support system necessary to handle a situation where the number of cases will exceed and the government public health system will be capable of handling it. So these will be the only two parameters on which the question of when and if and how the lockdown will be lifted will be answered. So considering the reality that there is an upscale, there is an upsurge in the number of cases that are being reported in India, most chief ministers of states have been of the opinion that the lockdown must not be lifted in one go, and the lockdown must be, the lifting of the lockdown must be done in a very calibrated fashion. So I think the wonderful federal setup that we have, the Prime Minister and the Chief Ministers have risen to the occasion irrespective of the political complexion of different states and have come together on this. So another 15 days of quarantine and staying at home.
No, Maharashtra is locked down till 30th of April. The announcement has been made. So
even Odisha has announced, Karnataka cabinet had also taken the decision that there is going to be an extended lockdown. But I would also want to take, Rishabh, that even after the 30th of April, we can safely assume that the lockdown is not going to be lifted in one go and say, the 1st of May, things are going to be like how it was before, the 1st of April. Things will be, because, it's not going to be normal as the new normal was. So things are going to be, there are going to be some restrictions. Not every commercial activity, not every single industry will be, allowed for at least the next 6 weeks. The most vulnerable population, which is, say, school-going children and the high-risk senior citizens may all be asked to stay at home for the next 6-7 weeks at least. So those of you who hated school and are watching this Insta Live,
this is breaking. This is breaking news, because people like
no, it is.
It was, to finish your sentence, those who didn't like school, like me, and I wish I was in school again.
Like me too.
Listen, don't say me too. But it's wonderful, because so you're saying that it's going to be a lockdown at least for young people and for the elderly for the next 2 months. That for the next 1.5 to 2 months we're going to be at home.
Yes, at least for the next 45 days. I don't think there is going to be opening of schools and colleges. And senior citizens, if you have a granddad at home, if you have a father in his 60s or 70s, please take care of them, guys, and ensure that you go out, buy them groceries, you do the work for the home, let them be home, protect them. And even when you venture out, take all precautionary measures, because the last thing you want is you bringing home the infection along with the groceries. So please protect the high-risk population.
So let me ask you this very important question. Are your grandchildren taking care of you?
I wish they
did. you look younger than me. So but Tejasvi, honestly, the reason why, and you've given a lot of news in the sense that this is very relevant for young people. But what about people like me? So when this started, my parents were very happy that I was staying at home. Now it's been 15, 20, 21 days, close to the 21-day lockdown. Now they're very irritated. In fact, they wanted to throw me out of home. So where do homeless people such as me find a home if this lockdown is going to continue?
Well, this is the time, when we were in school, Rishabh, there used to be this poster, remember? The Adarsh Balak poster.
Correct.
The guy who would wake up at 6 in the morning, fall at parents' feet, do the puja in the temple room, and then, this whole thing, following homework, doing homework for assigning homework for the day, early to rise and early to bed. I mean, early to bed and early to rise. get even that wrong. So, I
You got
think
a lot of
this
plus
is
points to
also
say
all
that.
of us to become Adarsh Balak or Adarsh Balaki and then, impress people at home, lest we get thrown out. So, be a good guy.
I'm trying to do as many household chores as possible. In my
What are you doing?
I tried everything. So on the first day, I started with making my bed. Then I realized that making your bed involves changing the blanket. So in the evening, when my mother said the blanket's the same,
Like the proper South Bombay entitled brick.
listen, you are in charge of a constituency that is as urban as South Mumbai is.
And it is South Bangalore.
I know.
But we do jadu pocha at home, and we know that if you have to make your own bed, you have to change blanket.
Listen, I don't believe you that you do jadu pocha at home. Do you actually do jadu pocha at home?
Nor I will put a picture.
Really? Of doing jadu and pocha?
Yes. Either one. One day I do jadu, the other day I do pocha. So either, not both of them are not my department. I do either one, and then the other cousins at home, family home, they do the other one. So whatever I do tomorrow, I will put.
If my parents were listening to this, they would have adopted you, yeah. If there was a chance. You're a parliamentarian, you're a very Adarsh Balak, and you're doing either one of the household chores. Very nice, yeah. But see, you don't need to say all the right things. This is not a political show. So you can be frank and honest.
What happens, I mean, I know this isn't a political show, but I'm just saying,
And I'm not
politically right.
And I'm not Kunal Kamra. Listen, but tell me, in that Tum Bhi Karona is our second part of what we usually talk about. But in your Tum Bhi Karona, touching upon what happened with Kunal Kamra,
Okay.
what is happening even now, some people, and I'm glad I'm not seeing this on a national scale, chief ministers, the prime minister all coming together. But yet there are factions in our country who are trying to be divisive. And this is something, and this is not a time for things like that. And your thoughts on people who make those kind of statements? Divisive
Like what?
statements? Like certain things that the prime minister advocated, like say for example, the medical workers, clapping for the medical workers at 5 p.m. And I was standing very proudly on my balcony, irrespective of my political beliefs, irrespective of who's told me or who's not told me to do it, but more so because of the fact that this is a time where we should appreciate things like that. And yet there were statements, I don't want to name people, but there were statements that saying that you should not do this, this is ABC, XYZ. They try to yet divide. So
It's extremely unfortunate that even a crisis as humongous as this and as secular as the coronavirus, because the coronavirus is the most secular threat that the country has faced in such a long time. This is going to affect you if you're a congressman, if you're from BJP. This will affect you if you're Modi Bhakt or if you're, Rahul Gandhi's a supporter. If you're Hindu, Muslim, it will affect every single person. But what baffles me is even a very secular, humongous threat like coronavirus has been has failed to bring all of us together. But I would at the same time say that the country has come together in an overwhelming fashion. There are a few exceptions, the usual suspects, the outliers who are there in any society. But I think at least when where I live and seeing from the reports from around the country,
correct.
people came out in large numbers to thank.
100%.
I would say 99.9% of the country came forward to light a lamp, express gratitude, say thank you to those frontline health workers who are fighting for this cause. And my request to that 0.1% who are not joining hands in these fundamental national initiatives are this. Well, if you're left or right, if you're Congress or BJP, please keep those differences. This is not the time for bringing those differences out. If we all make it through to the other side after this coronavirus, then let us again fight between ourselves as Congress and BJP. Until then, let us first fight the virus. Even Saudi Arabia, for God's sake, has announced ceasefire on Yemen, man. So, we are far more simple.
If they could do it, we can do it as well. And this is what the thought process of young politicians is. And I'm very glad. And young people should be thinking like this. And that's why I'm very proud whenever I see the work that you are doing and see the work of young politicians across party lines. They do not talk about divisive politics at this juncture. And to that 0.01%, I'm glad you gave that message. But let me touch upon what young people should do for the next 2 months, according to you. What do you think young people should sit at home and do?
Okay, great. Thank you, Rishabh, for this. Every single day, I have been thinking of the immense.
I did not transfer the 1 million we agreed. So why are you thanking me?
We will get to that offline. Rishabh, I think, every single day I am only thinking of the immense possibilities that this lockdown period is offering to young people. Unlike, the previous generation, we are far more tech savvy. We have more new technological tools available at our disposal to learn new things, to innovate new things, come up with new things. So, of course, just last night I binge watched.
What? Tell me what.
I watched Black Mirror, 7 episodes of Black Mirror straight all through the night, which is why I needed.
Did you change the name of the series from something else to Black Mirrors, or was it actually Black Mirrors?
No, I watched. Oh, come on! I told you, Black Mirror. I have many other series also planned, so do not worry. And if there are some good suggestions, kindly make those suggestions. Everybody, we will always share that. But I would want to say this: the next 2 months, on a serious note, Rishabh, is so far as the coronavirus situation is concerned, handling that, I want all of you to do 2 things. One, if you have a senior citizen living in your home,
right,
ensure that they do not step out of the house at any cost, and that you will take charge of doing all of their essential work. It may be going to the shop and buying them a battery or a cell for their hearing aid. It may be as essential as buying them a biscuit that is of their liking and that they eat on an everyday basis, which generally is not easily available unless you go out for looking out for it. Make those small things for them because they are the most highest vulnerable population. In case you do not have someone in your house, I'm sure you will find a senior citizen neighbor or a senior citizen in your street. Go and adopt them for the next 3 months as your own. This is the biggest thing that you can do for the society and for India today. Why can't every single young person in India today make a pledge that for the next 3 months I am going to adopt a senior citizen. I am going to take care of their needs and I am going to help them. Look, I think you wanted to come in, Rishabh.
Yeah, I want to come in. I said from today I make a pledge to adopt Tejasvi.
Thank you.
I'm trying to lighten up you younger than me.
So, please, the second thing is, there are so many new ideas that all of you can work on. I have been talking to so many young people in Bangalore, new software engineers who are developing new codes. Imagine the post-corona world order. Okay, how things are going to be different, how you can make a difference, how we can use technology which will help better social integration, and how can you make use of your talent and your skills to make an impact in the post-corona world order. So if you are a good coder, if you know how to code well, think of the new applications, the new softwares that you can build, the new products that you can build for a world that is going to be so seemingly different after Corona. If you are a great singer, why don't you start some online classes and teach few kids whoever is interested, the lessons of your choice. You can teach, you can learn a new skill, you can learn a new language. I have for sure tried, at least making an attempt to learn better Hindi. So this is a great time for you.
थोड़ी बातचीत हिंदी में कर लेते
देंगे, थोड़ा हिंदी हमारा सुधर, बात करने के बाद थोड़ा सुधर भी जाएगा, if that is right.
No, so, absolutely right. But if you have to start taking Hindi lessons from me, this is the end of the world, huh? Because my Hindi is also very, very bad. My Gujarati is good, is chaste, but my Hindi is very bad because I did not learn Hindi formally in school. Now I'm slowly, gradually learning Hindi because I think I'm a proud Indian. I think
language, learn a new skill. Maybe help your mom in cooking, and you will learn cooking. So tomorrow, if you are stranded somewhere, or you're going to be doing man versus wild or anything, you know how to cook for yourself. So it's a great time. I would also ask people to maybe do some contemplation. We get so much time now, right? So do contemplation, maybe read new books, try things that you have not done earlier. And I think it's a great opportunity for all of us to imagine how the world will be if the coronavirus is going to be there for the next, say, 6 months, or there is going to be I don't want to sound, a doomsday prediction, but Rishabh, look at this. 1918, the Spanish flu made a revisit.
Correct.
So when the second round of the flu came, it was far more malignant and far more severe, and the virulence was much higher.
Right.
We don't know anything about the coronavirus. But if the coronavirus is going to come back, say in the winter or 7-8 months from now, how can we as government, as people, as institutions be far more prepared to face the whole the virus, the second onslaught of the virus? What can we as young people think of solutions for that? So this is a wonderful time for all of us to do those brainstorming, contribute to nation building. If you know any organization around which is helping, say, community kitchens, make some online donations and payments. These are all the great things you can do. Of course, apart from Netflix, Amazon, you're binge watching, reading, chilling with your friends, and doing Zoom calls or hangouts with your friends. When you get time from doing all of that, do these good things also.
And you spoke about, it's a very, very, very nice answer, but you spoke about donations, and if anybody has excess money, there's this wonderful organization that is doing great work, which is, and I must take a second in order to speak about them, because they've been working in 160 cities in India, and they work with young people, and they are always in need of money. The name of the organization is IMUN, so feel free. But on a serious note, I really think donations to organizations that are running community kitchens, are actually doing things on ground, is what one should do. And I think the suggestions that you gave are very, very helpful. That said, tell me the book that you would recommend young people read. If you were to recommend one book.
So many. I have been reading this book called Future Politics right now. So it's a great book. It's a sneak peek on how the world is going to be in the future, thanks to advent and evolution of digital technology. So it's a fantastic read. I'm halfway through the book, so that's the one that I have, off the mind.
So mirrors and future of politics is what keeps you busy when you are not helping people on the road and on ground. And I'm glad that you're doing all these wonderful things. You're pretty much, like I said, somebody that young people can relate to.
Thank you, Rishabh. Thank you. Despite my senior age.
Despite being on the other side of 60, you are very relatable, I must tell you. But tell me this, the last segment... But the last thing before we open it up to questions that I want to do with you is, it's a 21-day lockdown up until now. And a 21-day lockdown is we have 21 questions we prepared for you, but I won't ask you 21. I'll ask you 4 or 5 rapid fire questions, which you need to answer honestly.
Yeah, all of this has been honest. What makes you think this has not been? I'm the most honest politician you will ever get on your show, Rishabh. Unless, of course, you convince the Prime Minister to come on the show.
No, hopefully someday we will. But up until a few weeks back, I always thought honest and politician was an oxymoron. But but I've come to meet very many young people and many people who are actually doing honest things in politics, and that's why I'm glad we chased you here. But tell me, out of the 21 questions, the first question that I want to ask you is this: your favorite household chore?
Washing dishes.
If not a politician, who would you be?
I would be a lawyer. I am a lawyer. I would still continue being a lawyer.
Is it the real degree or one of those degrees that are there?
We will discuss.
But if you were to be stranded on an island, who would be the person that you would take along with you? I know you would say me, but apart from me.
I don't know. So many people to think of. This is a tough one, man. This is a tough one.
The nation wants to know. Tejasvi, the nation wants to know who is your biggest crush in Bollywood? Chalo, this will answer in Indian cinema overall. This will answer.
Biggest I really like Kareena Kapoor and Deepika Padukone. And though Taapsee Pannu is on the other side of the ideological political spectrum, I still
see when you said Deepika and Kareena, that time there was little potential, Tejasvi. They were all married, but now that you said Taapsee Pannu, I'm sure I'm going to get this message across. But that
then also ask them to become a bhakt.
But you make an interesting conversation, you and Taapsee. If you were stranded on an island, that would be a very interesting conversation, yeah, in terms of politics.
Oh, sure. I mean, I think so. I mean, you would have either come on our side of the spectrum by the end of the conversation.
And I'm sure she would say the same. But tell me, if you were to choose one portfolio to handle in the center, which would it be?
I think HRD.
HRD.
Yes.
This is the right answer. Especially on the IM1 platform, this is the perfect answer. But also tell me, the last question that I will ask you, and this is a burning question. You have to answer this because I've got tons of millions of kids asking me, saying, when you meet Tejasvi next, please ask him this question.
Yeah.
Why do you always wear a shirt? Why can you not wear a t-shirt?
I have worn t-shirts. There are multiple pictures of mine in a t-shirt. So,
you want to say young, cool?
Asked you.
I'm sorry, what?
This was the polling question that people asked you.
Of course, all the
answer, I'll tell you. You know, I am generally around political leaders and officials who are twice my age. You know, and people in their late 50s, early 60s, and sometimes I feel wearing a shirt will make them take me far more seriously than wearing a t-shirt with a statement on my chest going and attending meetings.
Yeah, just like this one. Yeah, there was no, but I completely understand. Yeah, the beard. If you would go without the beard, without the mustache, and you would go with a t-shirt, then I don't think they'll take you that seriously.
I don't know, debatable, but people take people seriously not just for their clothes, but also primarily how we conduct ourselves. But it adds value. You know, your value.
on that count, I don't think anyone will ever take me seriously.
And I take the work that you do very seriously.
Thank you very much. Thank you. See, you clarified it. You don't take me seriously. You take the work that I do seriously, and I'm glad. I'm glad you mentioned that. But Tejasvi, let me, before I let you go, let me take 2 or 3 questions from people, if that's all right with you.
Well, I have time. Don't worry.
Done. I need to go and make dinner after this. That's the problem.
And I believe you.
No. And the dinner that I make, only I eat. This is a very burning question. This is actually a very relevant question. Do you agree that COVID-19 reduced the pollution in Bangalore?
Yes, of course. Not just in Bangalore. I mean, facts say that the level of pollution has come down around the country, in fact, around the world. The number of vehicles that are traveling are all, gone off the streets. So it's natural. But COVID should not be the reason for us to reduce pollution levels.
Very true. But how do you deal with criticism? Yeah, you make a lot of statements on national television, and sometimes those statements are misinterpreted, and that causes controversy and criticism. How do you deal with criticism?
When you are in public life, you must be ready to receive bouquets and brickbats both in the same fashion. So if you are very clear with the ideas that you believe, if you have the courage of conviction to see them through, then criticism will not will be like water on a lotus flower. It will not touch you.
And now we had to integrate the lotus somehow. Very subtly, we integrated the lotus out there. but tell me, what do you think about participation of youth in politics? What's the significance of young people in politics?
If you look at the history of the world, political movements, most of them have been crafted by young people leading from the front and young people substantially giving it strength. The same has been the case in India. Most of the people who were participants in the freedom movement were young people. Post-independence, the emergency movement to save the democracy and constitution in India, young people led that. Even in Anna Hazare movement, people of our age were the ones who were at the forefront. Even in 2014 and 2019, the overwhelming people who were Prime Minister have been young people. The reason for that is young people by their very nature challenge status quo. They want things to be done differently. And they're bold, they do not mind taking risks, and they bring in a fresh sense of dynamism. They approach old problems with new set of eyes. So I think it is very important for young people to participate in politics. And by politics, I do not always mean running for an office. By politics, I also mean engaging with the system, reading the newspaper, forming your own opinions, participating in debates, talking to more people, going out and voting for those people who you firmly believe are important. These are also very important things in engaging in politics, not running for office alone.
No, that's very important. You again very subtly praised yourself. I need to learn this from you. But tell me this. This is a very important question, because people really want to join politics, pursue public life, serve the people. But I know so many people who are unable to convince their parents. Yeah, there's so many kids who want to join politics who are in their 20s but are unable to convince their parents, saying that this is something that you can do for life. So how did you convince your parents?
So luckily for me, my parents have always been very supportive of the decisions that I have taken. But that doesn't mean that, whenever I would do my political work, for party work, etc., my mother would, of course, she would say, look at Meena auntie's son, he is getting married, he's, got a big paycheck, and you are doing bhashans and you are roaming around here, there, doing Sangathan work, etc. But despite that, I would say that my parents have been extremely supportive of my decision. So touch wood there, it wasn't like, I had to rebel and, it wasn't like I had to fight at home itself. First one. Second thing, I would want to tell all young people, it is very, very important for all of you to pursue a very serious professional career before you take up politics. So if you say that you want to be a full-time political activist right out of college, that is something that I wouldn't advocate. I did not do it myself. And I did not do it primarily because if you are not in a profession, if you are not a professional for a while, if you have not imbibed those certain qualities, then you will not be bringing that expertise to the table in politics.
Correct.
So please, if you are in your early 20s, I would request you to do this. Concentrate on on getting a very serious profession. It may be anything, profession of your choice, interest of your choice. Do that for a few years. Make a mark in that. Engage yourself with the political system in the way I told you. You can write about it, you can speak about it. If you have an opinion to say, you can even make a Facebook or an Insta live and start speaking about it. Go and start interacting with people in the community. Start organizing small things in, with your bunch of friends. So politics, a lot about politics is about organizing and human resource management. Unless you yourself do all of these things, you will not learn the skills for that. So do all of these things, have a stable income, have a stable professional life, then politics, then meanwhile also pursue politics parallelly, because the field of politics is, fraught with a lot of variables than constants. So you need to keep your feet firmly grounded so that you can fly higher. So that's my advice to young people.
No, but you said you need to have a proper profession and a vocation before you get proper education.
It's parallelly.
Parallelly. So basically, I can never join politics. But I'm better out of it. But and I'm glad people like you are in it. But now this is another burning question. Did you try the Dalgona coffee?
No, I haven't, but I have been seeing everyone making Facebook and Insta posts on that. So I definitely am keen to, and I will, keep you guys posted the next few days.
Now this is one that actually will make a lot of noise. Favorite leader in the opposition party, in the Indian National Congress, who is your favorite leader?
Many people, I really like Milind Deora. I was really liking Jyotiraditya Scindia, and he now is on our side. So
good one, very good one.
So I really like Jyotiraditya Scindia. Yeah, Milind Deora is one who is still on the opposition. I also like KTR, the Deputy Chief Minister of Telangana government. He is quite young and dynamic, so I like him. Many people actually, many senior leaders also from the opposition, who are, who bring their own qualities to the table. I very closely work with Dr. Shashi Tharoor on the IT Committee of Parliament, a very erudite parliamentarian. Though, ideologically there are many positions of his which I do not agree with. He is someone that is certainly.
Do you understand the English that he speaks in? Because his English is much like this, which is why most of the times I do not understand what he's trying to say.
Chab, I did not know of this skill of yours. You seem to be very good at mimicking Tharoor.
No, but he's indeed a venerable and erudite statesman, and I definitely think he's somebody who people really admire across party lines, isn't it?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But let me ask you the last question. Let me ask you the last question on behalf of everybody. and it's difficult. It's difficult to choose because there are so many of them. But I will ask you on behalf of many who have been asking your views on the RSS.
Oh yeah. So I have been associated with the RSS, right?
And before you begin, not on Rishabh Sanjay Shah, on the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh. So if you
So the RSS, I have been associated with the RSS from my primary school days, and I must say that it's one of the most amazing and coolest organizations out there for anyone to join, volunteer, and learn your ropes in public life, in the selfless organizational work for the country. So unfortunately, the RSS has been stereotyped to mean a lot of things which it does not stand for. But let me tell you very honestly, and because this is Instagram, because there are a lot of young people watching this show, I want to tell all of you, the coolest organization that I have been a part of till now has been the RSS. Most of the problems that I have faced in my life, because you always need a mentor in life to always guide through problems when you are at crossroads in life. Whenever I have had problems in my life, seniors in the RSS, mentors in the RSS have helped me. Whether it was what course to join, what to do in college, to even me going and telling them about my soft breakup stories, people in RSS listen to them and have helped me, counseled me. That's how broad-minded, open-minded, and so liberal and so well-meaning these folks are. The other thing is, if the RSS were not there in India today, I don't think the demographic picture of India, of what we know of India today, would be in the same way. India would be a very distorted, a very disturbing reality, and RSS has forged the nation as one. So before we make false opinions about anything, one thing that we must do is try finding out the reality for ourselves. Go understand what the RSS stands for. The RSS has given this country some of the greatest leaders, including the Prime Minister. And if any organization has been so successfully in succession been giving such exemplary leaders to the country, then the organization must have some kind of inherent strength, vitality, and support. And the reason why RSS gets that kind of strength is because irrespective of what national calamity the country faces, the RSS and its workers are the first frontline responders always. So they are the ones who go out, help people irrespective of their religion, choice, etc. So please go out, make friends with those. If you are already not a Sanghi, go understand the philosophy of the RSS. Try engaging with the people who are the leaders. You will be lucky if you will find a very senior mentor like the ones I have met in my life. They will help you navigate through the difficulties of life. You would have made a great decision if you will join the RSS.
Lovely, but I always tried to join the RSS. I've gone there many a time. I go to the shakhas. Then I met Mohanji also. I told him saying, "Sir, मुझे भी आप ले लीजिए." But then he looks at me and he says, इसके अलावा जो भारत में हर एक जन है उसको लेंगे पर इसको नहीं लेंगे.
Very surprising that RSS will not take anyone.
No, he's never said that. He's never said that. He's a lovely man. He's what you said about the RSS is, and I'm glad you threw light on this, because it is something that people should know, and I'm glad that somebody who's firsthand witnessed it like you has actually thrown light on it. So on that, yes.
If I became an MP today at the age of 28, having nothing more than 14 lakh rupees in my bank account, which I had earned from my career as a lawyer, if today I am having this opportunity to serve this country as a parliamentarian, it is only and only because of the RSS.
Thank you for giving me all your credit, Tejasvi. I usually take it most of the time. But no, it's always a pleasure to welcome you as a part of the family that you now belong to. Two RSS families now you belong to, and the larger family, which is India, and which is also IIMUN. And I'm glad that you are part of all of these families, and more specifically because, if I may on this note say, we've troubled you enough. You spent a lot of time.
Thank you all for watching this. Rishabh, it was so much fun. And you have been a great host. And thank you all for the questions that all of you asked. I look forward to talking to all of you again in due course.
No, absolutely.
And Rishabh, the work that you have been doing with IIMUN official, and all the very best to your entire team.
Thank you so much, Tejasvi. And before I let you go, let me say this, because you mentioned this in your life, that you're reading a very interesting book. And I think for me personally, that sums up the person that you are. The name of the book is Future of Politics. And I'm glad that I was talking to the future of politics today. So look forward to seeing you as the Minister of HRD or even higher up. We all, you're an inspiration for all of us.
Thank you so much. I get inspired from the work that you do, you and your team also do, Rishabh. And there is inspiration so much in the world outside. So many people going out and trying to save squirrels, people trying to go out and help a stranded cow, people trying to go and help a senior citizen get his dialysis done. So much of inspirational good stories out there. Let's all get motivated, let's all get inspired, and let's do more good work to the world.
No,
amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tejasvi, for ending it on a very poetic note. And I'm glad that people are going out there and doing their bit. I only hope that all the people who are on this live also do their bit by donating some money to this wonderful organization called IIMUN. I'm just joking. I'm joking, but thanks so much, Tejasvi. You've been more than a sport. You've been more than a sport. And thank you so much for doing this. I'll see you very soon. Thank you. Jai Hind. Thank you.